Hi, I am going to pick Shadow Mewtwo against Lucario for the first series of this video, and unlocked I've unlocked new things in pokkendx, the special event. Here you can play through Shadow Mewtwo event Synergy Stone Power again. And then this is the jig test. I think this should be the Shadow Mewtwo battles something, cause I've already beat the league champion. So let's go to Ferrum League. Now I can take part in the Iron League. But anyways, for this first series of Shadow Mewtwo versus Lucario, let's go to the practice mode and see if how Shadow Mewtwo, what are Shadow Mewtwo moves and all the Pokemon move against Lucario. But basically I'm going to talk more about Shadow Mewtwo in the first series. I would usually go for EV support because EV got more attack, boost damage and health. So what does Shadow Mewtwo ability move that I would use against Lucario or any opponent? So in the field phase, best priority projectile is the Shadow Ball. Level 3 Shadow Ball will shift phase to dual phase. Now let reset to field phase. My next always used Pokemon Shadow Mewtwo move is the side Y, because on hit side Y is very positive to about plus 33, and it can there's no way opponents can recover from side Y. And when opponent got hit, I would always like to follow up with side YY, which Shadow Mewtwo is going to do a forward sword. This. So if I follow up with side Y, it's like this. So that's is one of the most powerful move Shadow Mewtwo can do in field phase. And with side Y, it covers certain areas where you can zone the opponent, like side Y. It covers kind of zone the opponent because kind of area move. And then if I really want to zone the opponent, I can go for side Y, Miracle Eye. Now this creates a barrier on where most it will blocks any kind of projectiles from the opponent, and it can also but Shadow Mewtwo can pass through this barrier like here, and Shadow Mewtwo can do homing. It's very safe for Shadow Mewtwo. And if opponents want to avoid this barrier, they have to either sidestep or maybe jump. Sidestep would be most of the case, or maybe just back away and jump and throw in some projectiles while jumping. For Shadow Mewtwo, it got JYY, got like a range projectile that it can do. And what else? In field phase, I like to do is the pillar also, because pillar gives a like a height kind of thing. Like if the opponents try to always like to jump, I can do pillar, and if I do miracle eye, it will shift to the dual phase. So pillar, miracle eye, yeah. And what good about pillar is like it follows the target. It follows the target. It's similar to like JY. Say it will auto follow like a rocket. I mean like auto follow. And so you can't really, you will not need to like aim or anything. It will auto follow. Projectile will auto follow JY and as well as the pillar, which is back Y. That's one of my most used move in field phase. They can't really escape from JY unless if they sidestepped, or if they sidestep, I can do a miracle eye, so make it harder. And why it makes harder for them to sidestep is also because when JY is auto follow and I miracle eye, it might be difficult to sidestep. And then what else? Let's go. I also like to do this JYY. If like opponent didn't have too much anti-air, and also like for like Reservoir, if I tried to jump, it got like very effective anti-air and I can get caught easily. I think basically, let me think, is there anything else? I so like in field phase, the best I like to do is also the homing attack. So like homing block, homing cancel block. Okay. Or like I seldom do like counter attack like this, like counter cancel. That is only if I know of a certain projectile from the opponent that I can counter. So if they do a projectile, I can like counter, I can like counter and cancel. If the projectile is trying to hit, when it's about to hit, I can counter cancel like this. Can do in all directions, counter side, counter back. Yep. And homing is one of the most effective and fastest somewhat much more of reliable move in dual phase, and I always like to do homing. And then sometimes I would do like E and forward slash in field phase just to fill in the gap from or the distance from the opponent and try to get a hit in dual phase. And if I do at a level 3, it shifts. So let's try at level 1. Level 1, the level 1 slash to level 3 or shift to dual phase. So let's do, if I do this, okay. First like if first it covers lots of distance to about, if I'm standing around about halfway towards the opponent, I can do the slash. Or what I like to do also is like homing, and if I about near, if I do like side homing, it would be quite difficult for opponent to catch. And let me see, and then as I also like to do sometimes forward Y, forward. So what do this might not be that safe if the opponent is some kind of at the frame advantage or kind of a movement advantage, because this is just a linear move. Okay, it can be sidestep. Yeah, which is why I like to go for side Y and follow up with the forward slash. Let me see. Yeah, so most those are my move that I like. So like the move that I use in Shadow Mewtwo on the field phase. And if I go to dual phase, okay, at distance I like to do pillar, and then if on close up I would do, if about close up, or if like about close up I like to do 6x, and then I also like to do 5yy, and then I also like to do the 2y, and then my most common combo, it will be the 2a 6xa, and then I follow up with whatever I want. And then I also like and then the next second option I like is the 5yy during dual phase. And what else? Other alternative is this one. It's like the jumped instant dash. I can do like, can do like this. I do not matter kind of what combo I do for Shadow Mewtwo, because I take into consideration whether it's easy to press the buttons, and whether it's also depends on how effective it is and how easy it is to get hit on the opponent. Yeah, and then my next favorite, my next move I like is also the Pokemon move, is the A. I like to do A first, and then I also like to like A slash to vortex. Yeah, so that's how I fight in the field phase and in the dual phase. Now and I was the other next best starter for neutral in the dual phase is I like to do the X. Okay, this startup is the same as 6x, but I like to use 6x, and I like to use 6x, this one, and 5x more often, because it can follow up with combo much easier. And then if I want a different kind of startup or combo, I can do this 5x. It does not have kind of this too much distance, but and it also have a kind of a different combo follow up, which is quite different than which slightly quite difficult to execute than the 5YY combo if I start with 5YY, but if I start with 5XX, the combo would be somehow like this. Or it can be let's try again. So if I start with that, the combo is slightly difficult to do, because of it. The opponent is now like a air reset. So I'm checking out the distance for this one. So about here. So if I go back about here, oh no. So I go back about here, I can hit. If I go too far, I can't. So it does have some kind of moving forward, a bit of forward move when it try to execute the X. So I can do like somehow like this. It's very easy to press the arrow. So I somehow move to about here. Can hit. So it's about this distance. So if I do this, backdash. So if I do backdash, I cannot hit the opponent. So maybe slightly forward backdash. So if I backdash and start to do X, it won't hit. It only hit on the second hitbox, on the second move. So this is the first part. The other one is the second part with two swords. Now so it would be slightly about this distance I can hit with 5XX. So if it's about the backdash distance, so I can't do this. I can do 5XX. It's about somewhere near here, somewhere. If I move around somewhere about here, I can hit a combo. Let's go and play some. Let's go and play some matches versus Lucario. And I'm going to use all of the move I've mentioned that I like to use with Shadow Mewtwo, and we're going to fight Lucario with at the very hard difficulty, and we try to win every match against Lucario. See, EV has a status effects. Attack is increased, provide a temporary boost attack, and also recovers small amount of HP. Progadier is about effective when striking from long range. So this is kind of range attack support for Shadow Mewtwo. If I use this support and get kind of a range hit on the opponent, and I can follow up with Shadow Mewtwo combo. So it's basically for to get a range hit on the opponent if I use the frog. I always go with EV support. And that's how I would fight Shadow Mewtwo with Lucario, as most of these Lucario does have some range, no, and the best is I just use block, and most of the time I'm using the side Y and all that in the field phase. And yeah, that's it for the first episode of the series. I see you in the next video.